Okay guys, I'm gonna try to make some more gold again. Pure gold. I started out this morning with 5 grams of gold. I put it in the beaker. Now, just as soon as I started cooking it, in just muriatic acid, it ended up being this kind of a yellow color here. And then after it got to the point of close to boiling, it turned. I started adding just a few drops of nitric acid in it, and that's when it turned orange. In just a couple seconds, I'm going to go ahead and flush, do my first clean out through the filter, and wash it all out, and we'll get ready to bring it back to gold. Well, that took a colossally long time for it to drain down. That's the smeg left over. That should not be any gold in that. The water is very, very cloudy, so I'm going to go ahead and filter it one more time. And we'll see what happens. Okay, it's about time to reconstruct here. I've got my sodium metabisulfate. I've had it double filtered. Let's start sprinkling some stuff in there and watch a reaction. Watch a reaction. Where's it going to happen? And that, my friends, is the gold dust. As it turns black, the blackness is the gold dust coming back out of the octaregia. Now, this is by no means this most scientific way of doing it. Yeah, we'll give that a couple minutes. Okay, I might have overdone the sodium metabisulfate just a little bit. It didn't help that the stuff has gotten moist and it made little chunks. But the brown material was suspended for the longest time. But once the sodium metabisulfate really takes effect, all the brown stuff settles down out of the fluid into the bottom. And the brown stuff is the gold, so we're gonna let it settle just a little bit more, stir it a couple more times, and then I'm going to go ahead and pour it off into a filter, and then what is left in that filter will be the gold, and I'll fire it here in a little while. So hopefully by the end of the day I'll have a gold button. Okay, and there's the muck. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out and put it in the crucible and start burning it here in a minute. Okay, I wadded up the whole darn coffee filter and squeezed it into that brand spanking new little crucible. Next, I'm going to put this borax and sodium carbonate, just a sprinkle over the top of it, just to keep a lot of the ash from going up, and hopefully it'll take and help on the reconstruction. Okay, and like I said, I was going to cap it off with the sodium or the regular borax. So, time for some fire. Probably should be noted that I'm beginning to burn at 7 o'clock, or 7:02 exactly, probably 7:04 by now. Well, it's going down. It's going to show to me. Can't see into the fire. Dang it. It's melting. It's starting to melt. Hi guys, it's Ray here. Okay, I guess I've got monster blanks in this video, and I'll go ahead and I'll try to explain what happened. I was melting it down in the furnace, and I was pouring it into the gold. after multiple times every time I try to get it out of the furnace and over here and dump it into the darn little hole, it would splatter off to the side or that side, or it'd be like half and half, or some of it gets stuck in the crucible. Some of it gets stuck actually in the crucible on the side, right on the very lip, and then only half it'd pour. So I had a lot of trouble. I had to pour that. It took me over an hour just to get the darn thing to turn into a single button. And so then I took the single button with, you can kind of see the little burn marks here. I'd heat the gold up and I'd hammer it. And I got it to about that big right there. Well, that wasn't big enough. And it was leaving heck of a pock marks all over the darn thing. So I got a hold of one of our local stores here. Actually, it's my favorite store in Juneau, Alaska. If you guys want to spend an outrageous amount of money, go to the Juneau Trading Post. They've got some of the most beautiful artwork in all of Juneau, but the shit ain't cheap, man. It's a spendy store. But anyhow, the old boy told me he had a jeweler's roller. And since now I'm down to 24 karat, I knew it'd smash out real pretty in a roller. So I rolled it out and rolled it out and rolled it out. Now what's happened here is this is just a lapel pin. And so I used that as the base, and I glued my wafer down, and then I cut another one of these apart with a smaller square and compass and a 24-inch gauge. And then I don't think it's going to show up, but it actually does say 60 years, or 60 year. It's a 60-year pin. And I'm going to give to the old boy. He's turning 90 years old, and he's going to have 60 years as a mason next month, so it's kind of a gift to him. So that's what my Friday Gold show is going to be. Is going to be taking my itty bitty placer gold, all that fine dust. Everybody's always wondering what you're doing with your gold. You got the fine dust. Well, I turn the fine dust into a fine piece of memorabilia that the old boy will be able to enjoy for many years to come.